As we celebrate America's 250th birthday, we'll make a toast and visit the oldest wooden fort in the nation. Plus, we'll make a special birthday breakfast on Making a Mess with the Yankee Camper. Red, white, and blue cream of wheat. Today we're celebrating America's 250th birthday, and I'm doing it with a red, white, and blue cream of wheat. For the red and the blue, I've selected freeze-dried strawberries and dried blueberries. The strawberries came in this package here. This is a little under a half an ounce of freeze-dried strawberries. This is a package of dried blueberries, and I measured out 1/8 of a cup of these along with the package of strawberries and just place them in a Loctite bag. I'm going to put these dried berries right into my paper bag. In a separate container, I've placed 3 tablespoons of the 2.5 minute cream of wheat, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and 5 tablespoons of dried powdered milk. I'll place this mix into my paper bag as well. And to give it a little bit of a boost on sweetness, I've got 2 honey sticks, and I'll just add those right into that paper bag also. I'm going to seal this up, and I'll see you out for my breakfast at the campsite. In the meantime, let me talk about America's 250th birthday. 250 years is a speck in the span of the universe, but it's a long time for an experiment. And it's still going on. So grab a cup of your favorite beverage while we toast America. The French defeated from across the sea the butcher's bill, a tax on tea. Green stained red, I do declare, the colonists cried, the path is clear, the greatest experiment upon the earth. The frontier opened, no longer bound, opportunities beckoned. What have we found? Deep roots are planted, divided by fate. Freedom for all, no problem too great. Wagons laden with pioneer worth. Go west, young man, his finger taps. Joyous news, the young girl claps. It sinks down deep, 2 brothers fly. Dad buys a car, we camp nearby to give a brand new era birth. She loves her beau, they smash the booze. The market falls, we sing the blues. France waves the flag, he hugs them tight. The turnpike builds, the coast is bright. The massive rocket shows its girth. The modem shrieks, we type our text. The towers gleam, they've fallen next. The music plays, we click and share. A sickness spreads, she breathes for air, while memes amuse, providing mirth. The dream gives hope, they take their oath. Our students learn, we cheer their growth. He seeks the stars, they guard our source. We cast our vote, our civic course, as we prepare to leave the earth. Here's to many, many more years. Now, you know. Let's go make our birthday breakfast. I hope you're enjoying this video, but I don't receive any compensation for this. One thing you can do is buy me a cup of coffee. Doesn't have to be very much. Just a couple of dollars would be great. I'll put a QR code and the link right over here. Now, let's get back to the video. Good morning and happy birthday, America. This morning, we're going to make our red, white, and blue cream of wheat. Let's unpack what we need. We've got the cream of wheat mixture, our dried fruit, and 2 honey sticks. From our mess kit, we'll need the small pot, the lid, and a measuring cup. To start, let's measure out 1 1/4 cups of water. So that's 3/4 of a cup. And a 1/2 cup. Didn't know you were going to have to do math this morning, huh? And into that pot, we're just going to add our dried fruit. That will help it rehydrate a little bit while it heats up. We'll put that right onto the stove. Light the stove and set that on medium high. Put on the lid. And that will only take a couple of minutes to get heated up. I'll be right back when that water boils. While we're waiting, let me tell you about the oldest surviving wooden fort in America. If your travels bring you through Augusta, the capital of Maine's vacation land, you're only a few minutes away from one of the oldest surviving pieces of early American history. Old Fort Western stands along the east bank of the Kennebec River, where history has unfolded for nearly 3 centuries. Long before the fort was built, this was the site of Cushnock, a trading post established by the Pilgrims in 1628, where they exchanged goods with the native peoples who had traveled these waters for generations. By the middle of the 18th century, tensions between Britain and France had intensified. In 1754, the British built Old Fort Western, not as a battlefield fortress, but as a fortified supply depot. Food, ammunition, tools, and other provisions passed through here as British forces moved farther north along the Kennebec River. Although it was built during the opening year of the French and Indian War, Old Fort Western never came under direct attack. Instead, it became the northernmost British outpost on the Kennebec River and an important link in both supplying frontier settlements and military expeditions. However, its story didn't end with the French and Indian War. During the American Revolution in 1775, Colonel Benedict Arnold stopped here while preparing his ambitious expedition through the Maine wilderness toward Quebec. Thousands of soldiers gathered supplies before beginning one of the most difficult military marches in American history. After the War for Independence, Captain James Howard purchased the property and his family lived here for generations. Unlike many frontier ports, Old Fort Western survived because it became a home instead of being abandoned or demolished. Today, Old Fort Western tells more than one story. Some rooms are furnished to represent its years as a British military outpost, while others reflect the Howard family's home and business after the frontier had moved further north and west. The barracks, for example, reminds us of the soldiers who once lived and worked here, ready to protect the supplies that kept the frontier moving. On the outside of the grounds, the powder magazine, defensive positions, and bateau all help to tell the story of a time before America became the United States. Today, you can walk through the buildings, explore the exhibits, and gain a first-hand appreciation for the challenges of life on the early Maine frontier. Whether your interest is in colonial history, the French and Indian War, Benedict Arnold's expedition, or simply discovering another remarkable piece of New England's past, Old Fort Western offers a fascinating step back in time. If you're traveling through central Maine, it's a stop worth making. Now you know. Let's go make our birthday breakfast out at the campsite. Well, that water's come up to a boil. Turn the heat down to medium. Open our cream of wheat mix. And just add that right into the pot. And stir that for about 2.5 minutes. You'll need to constantly stir that until it thickens to about the consistency of applesauce. You can see it's starting to thicken now. It's been about a minute. The mixture should bubble a little bit, continually stirring it. If it's not starting to thicken, turn the heat up a little bit. And once it starts to cool, it will also continue to thicken. That looks like it's about right. I'm going to turn the heat off. I've got my plate, and I'll just put the mixture right into my plate. I'll open my honey sticks and just put those right over the top. I added a couple of Gouda cheese sticks that I cut earlier. Red, white, and blue cream of wheat. God bless America. I'm going to eat my breakfast and clean up my mess. If you've enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. I hope you'll consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. That just informs you of the videos that I put out every week on camp cooking in my mess kit, the places that I'm staying, the meals that I'm baking, and the camp gear that I'm using. Have anything that you'd like to share or any thoughts on this particular video? Leave it in the comment section. I try to answer every one. In the meantime, I hope you get outside, and thank you for watching. Works good with the honey.